It's time for Cutting Edge Consciousness with Freeman Michaels and Barnett Bain. Thought-provoking discussions and bold ideas from the edge of possibility.
Freeman Michaels here with my co-host Barnett Bain.
There was so much to think about in that conversation with Annette. I love when she started to unpack the seeing and the quality of the intent that underlies touch. And she was making these distinctions about touch. Now, of course, you as an actor very well understand the intentions behind an action, be it whether it's touch or any other action. We understand as actors that that a performance is grounded by the emotional experience that goes unsaid in the word, but out of which all of the meaning is generated. So no actor grabs the hand of another actor without making it a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
Emotionally. When they do it well, it's wonderful. When they do it bad, it's bad acting.
Yeah.
But in the world of Annette, she refers to a number of modalities of touch. Gentle touch, attentive, feeling and being present, safe touch, touching and holding another with full support, connected touch, like you and another are one, a loving touch, being responding and respecting of another, and a seeing touch, seeing as, and this is one that I love, it's as though you had eyes in your finger, in the tips of your fingers.
It's beautiful.
This is so aligned to stuff that you and I talk about here all the time.
I'm bubbling over. I've got more to say than I could ever get out.
Go ahead, jump in.
No, just that what we're talking about, that the touch or the choice, because you brought up the acting. We are talking in acting all the time about a choice, that you're activating the intention by making a choice, and the choice is something that in this case is a physicalizing. It's an expression that has movement in it. And I love what she said about movement being the language of the brain, and that movement is what generates differences. And the brain recognizes differences. In fact, early on in the conversation, she was talking about that the brain fires the whole organizing function of movement. What it does with the brain is it fires the brain off in a very what's
specific
the word?
Neuronal.
Yeah, but there was a lot going on when we
take
something to movement.
I want to throw out in real time an insight that I'm gaining through this conversation. That is that the brain may, and I suspect this is a strong may operate at the level of subtext. And certainly our moviegoers operate at the level of subtext. What makes a movie powerful is not what is said between the characters, it's what goes on between them unsaid. And I suspect that is true in life. And so the brain wires and fires more powerfully in relation to what is unsaid and what is driven by the subtext or the intent. So when you touch another with seeing hands, with eyes in your fingertips, with an intention to respect and to honor and to give safety and to give security, to give pleasure, and when and where and how it's appropriate, the brain of that other individual is wiring neuronal nets that are appropriate to the intentions that you're sending someone. So I'm not sure what we will make of this, but it's a lot there, and we'll spin it out over the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think in this moment there's something to say about that. So look, we talk. I spoke earlier about the frequencies, and that we're transmitting frequency and we're receiving them all the time.
Only frequencies, only resonance, only
everything.
resonance.
So look, we believe that everything going on in our lives is an expression on some level of some aspect of our experience. That everything is being expressed. Everything is and
everything's a down step from the raw frequencies.
And what I loved about what she said when she was talking about the intelligence, that she's reading into the intelligence of doing something different as opposed to doing something the correct way, that's really intelligent and creative. And we all know that most of the great breakthroughs were accidents, right? All of the, whether it's in science or it's in, any discipline, that someone comes along and breaks the rules is when we have a breakthrough, and that it's very creative, intelligent to do something differently. But I love the idea of reading the intelligence. We've talked on the show about reading subtle energy and reading that when something is a pattern. In my work with weight release, it's habituated patterns around eating or whatever. That is an expression of something. And
that's an expression.
It's an expression of subtext.
Of it, exactly.
I knew you were going to say that. I jumped ahead of you. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead, Barnett, say it.
No,
it's an expression of subtext.
No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly right.
Pattern behavior, habits are expressions of subtext.
So when we put these things together, what we're saying, what this show has been saying from day one, and looping around and looking for new language to take it deeper and deeper, is that we are consciously exploring our subconscious now. And we are beginning to pump out all of the stuff that has sat on top of the reservoir of the subconscious, so that the subtext of things is it is no longer a stretch to discover it and to discern it. We are more elegantly, more quickly relating to our experience directly with X-rays eyes, seeing right down to the subtexts of things.
And what that equips us to do, is get to the edge of possibility, where we can bring on these new capacities, new in the sense that we're discovering them in new ways and so forth and so on. As she put, they might have been potentialities, things that we had some level of...
They are and they aren't.
I know.
The potentiality, I think, that you're talking about is the potentiality to go below the surfaces of things and to become relational with the subtext and to live in the subtext. Once upon a time, that was unavailable to us. You had to go to all kinds of practices in order to discover even that there's such a thing as your subconscious, and it was scary. When we get to that place, as the song goes, life is but a dream. And when you get to that place where the rules go out the window.
And we can discover things in ways and open up to things
that have never been before.
Before then were not possible. Because we didn't have the capacity. We didn't, as you said, have the bandwidth. For those kinds of frequency, didn't have the bandwidth. And I love the idea of the great motto of Steve Jobs of Apple was think different. And I love that she said with my hug different. That's your only direction to me, by the way. It's just hug different. I tried to loop it into, I'm going to crunch this down to hugging as a conscious expression and a conscious exploration. She said,
if we marry the Steve
different.
Jobs motto with a paraphrase of the Gandhi one, which is a be different,
right?
And we put the two of them together, it involves an entirely different kind of human being.
Think and be different.
That means you're systemically new, recreated.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. It's magical. I'm marveling at something because
that's like pirate different, R different, R different, R different.
I love, one of the things that we've talked about. It's more than talked about. The last year and a half of this show.
So one of the things we've drank about?
We've done it every different way. We've danced about it. We've hugged about it. We've found so many different expressions, because you and I hang out in real time in life off of the show.
A lot of dancing, a lot of hugging is what we...
And there will be more.
That paints a picture.
We're
hearing from our wives on that.
Yeah, there's some pirates dancing out there too. Arr. But I love the way we've woven together all these people from all these different, from business to science to medicine to everything, singers and everything.
We're having someone on in a few weeks from animal control.
We need that. We need the whole thing. Someone put on our website we should have Cesar Millan on. I think we should, to do talk about the horse petting, because he said, wow, horse petting, what about Cesar Millan? Talk about dogs. And that guy relates to dogs energetically.
Dog whisperer.
The dog whisperer guy, yeah, he relates to dogs energetically and has a tremendous impact. And it's not what you say, it's what energy you hold. And dogs read you. If you're saying something out of your mouth, but you're not resonating with it, the dog's going to bite you. It's not going to believe it, which, of course, is illustrated in the horse petting show we did. But just the idea that it all weaves together to take us to the edge of possibility, which is the intro to the show.
And I think with that, we're at the outro to the show.